So I am here with Andy Malin, who is the plant manager of General Mills. As you can see, we've got some products behind us. Andy, thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, you're welcome, Laura.
This has been insane. I just got a chance to walk through some of the plant, most of the background stuff. I didn't, there's some stuff we have to keep behind closed doors.
Yeah, we stayed out of the processing and packing areas, but we were able to tour a good amount of our warehouse and kind of finishing area, which is always a treat. One of my favorite areas probably in the entire site. So.
It's pretty incredible, and it's pretty massive, as you'll see through the video. It's there's a lot of cereal in there, but I want to get down to kind of the get down. So first of all, as the plant manager here, what's it like being Chief Cheerio? Like, what's that all about? You live here in Western New York. You've got a family here. What's that like? What do people say when you say, "Oh, I'm the plant manager of General Mills"?
They say, "You help our city smell like Cheerios," which is a good thing. So, I love the pride that people of Buffalo have in the city, the pride they have in General Mills, and the role we've played in Buffalo. We've been making cereal in Buffalo since 1941. We've been in the flour business since 1903. So a lot of history in Buffalo, and I just feel fortunate to be a part of this team. A lot of great team members here at Buffalo General Mills, 400 roughly in this location that do a great job day in, day out, representing our company and representing our community.
So that's another thing, the basis of this whole series is when someone you meet out, usually the first question you ask is, so what do you do? So when you say, I make Cheerios or I make cereal, there's probably a bunch of different things that go through their heads, right? So
yeah, I think there definitely are. I think there's some that are probably like, what do you mean you just pour it into a bowl, or what are you actually doing with it? Like, no, we're starting with ingredients, and we're actually cooking it and mixing it and making it into, put it into boxes, and then shipping it out to customers where you can find it in Tops, Wegmans, Walmart, places like that. So we're a start to finish cereal business right here in Buffalo.
Well, as you mentioned, the city smells like Cheerios. It is a massive part of this operation. We're going to get into the surprising brand that there's actually a bigger part of than Cheerios. I have to settle a score, though, because when I first moved back to Buffalo, someone said the reason why you smell Cheerios is because that's when they've burned a batch. Have you heard that before?
I have heard that.
Okay, that is not the case.
That would not be the nice smell of Cheerios that you smell each and every day in Buffalo. It could be the case where if there's a burnt smell, which is very rare, that it's possible, but it's not probable. It's not what people are smelling each and every day here in Buffalo.
But I was going to say, we're smelling it right now, and it does not smell burned. Maybe toasty, I suppose.
That would be right. Really, what people are smelling is how we puff or toast the actual cereal pieces. So when the cereal pieces get puffed, they get toasted kind of at the same time. That toasty smell is what actually makes Buffalo smell like Cheerios.
And that's what we smell most of the time. Now, I know there is Count Chocula, that one of the vehicles outside or down in the warehouse is called Count Chocula. Every once in a while, you feel like you smell chocolate. Is that true? Is there any chocolate manufactured here?
So there isn't really any chocolate manufactured here. So the products we make here in Buffalo, we make Lucky Charms, we make regular Cheerios, which we call Yellow Box Cheerios. We make Honey Nut Cheerios, and then we do make a few kind of fruity flavors. So Blueberry Cheerios, Berry Cheerios, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. And then we have a Chex Systems that makes Corn Chex, Honey Nut Chex, and Maple Brown Sugar Chex. So 4 systems make about 10 products, but those are really the only 10 cereal products that we make here in Buffalo. So actually no chocolate products are coming out of Buffalo.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I learned a fun fact about the amount of Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms actually seems to be even bigger than Cheerios as far as this factory or this plant is concerned.
It is. So Lucky Charms is actually the number one from a total number of cartons or total number of cases. We produce more Lucky Charms here in Buffalo than any other cereal. So about 50% of everything produced in Buffalo is actually Lucky Charms. And for the company, Buffalo makes probably 80 to 90% of all Lucky Charms for General Mills. Nationwide comes right here out of Buffalo.
In the country, 80% of it?
Correct.
That's pretty cool. So it would be okay to say my city smells like Lucky Charms.
That would be correct too.
That'd be correct too.
That would be correct.
The other question I get, actually, and I haven't asked you this, all the time is, how can I get just the bag of marshmallows? Are the marshmallows manufactured here too, or just the cereal part?
Yeah, just the cereal. So the marshmallows we actually bring in and we blend them in with our cereal here, but we do not make the marshmallow bits here in Buffalo. So I know every once in a while General Mills does do promotions where people can actually, sign up and actually win a full box of just marshmallow bits. But yes, they are popular. They're not made in Buffalo. We bring them in as an ingredient and we blend them into the cereal that's made here in Buffalo.
That's very cool. Okay. So the other thing I kind of was surprised at when I first got here, I mean, first of all, the campus, if you will, is enormous. It is, do you have any idea square footage? Would that be, I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't. No,
okay.
I'll find out and get back to you. But
it's big.
Sit right down here in downtown Buffalo. We have water that is on 3 sides of our campus. And
the big part though that I'm looking out this side, so if you're coming down, say you're going to Riverworks or something, it would be on the left hand side. That's the Gold Medal Flour part. Gold Medal Flour has quite a history here, but it's used in so much, and so it's going towards, you said it was the 50-pound bag, so it's going to restaurants and stuff, right?
Correct. So here on our Buffalo site, we actually have 2 plants. We have a cereal plant, which probably most people are familiar with, but we also have a flour plant, and the flour plant here is actually older than our cereal plant. So we've been making flour here in Buffalo since 1903. That's crazy. And cereal since 1941, and the flour that we make here is what we call food service flour. So all of it's in 50-pound bags. That goes to pizzerias, bakeries, colleges, things like that.
So the other thing I was curious about that we learned about, I say on my little field trip here, that the barges that come through, they come through the Erie Canal, which I think the canal system is often kind of overlooked as a major transport for, especially for where we are. I mean, we are surrounded by water. Tell me about the barges and when they come in and what they're bringing and how it gets from the barge to either Gold Medal or here at the cereal portion.
Yeah, so definitely one of the competitive advantages we have in Buffalo is the waterway. So we use that to our advantage on our flour business, where we about once a month will bring in a barge that has wheat in it, equivalent to maybe roughly 250 semi-truckloads of wheat. We're able to bring it in a barge. We're able to fill our elevator and hold that wheat until we need to actually use it to mill it into flour. So when the barges come in, it takes about 15 to 20 people, working 2 different shifts, about 48 hours to unload that barge.
Wow.
So the barge, just like an airplane, they want to get it unloaded, get it back on the water.
Right.
So it's about 48 hours to get it unloaded. We use a belt conveyor that will take the wheat from the barge and kind of vertically incline up to our elevator. And put it in the elevator. So
it really, I mean, I know this is going to sound ridiculous to some people. When we say grain elevators, it literally is an elevator for grains.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Correct.
What are these numbers?
We call them elevators, but kind of our grain silos. And as you fill those up, it fills up the silo, and we're able to move grain around, and that's how we mill flour here.
That's crazy. And before I let you get back to the cereal making, something you mentioned that I was really interesting to me is General Mills' zero waste to the landfill kind of initiative. Tell me about how in the world, because we're all looking to do more of that, how in the world is a place this giant able to kind of live up to that?
Yeah, General Mills is a company and Buffalo as a plant. One thing that's very close to our hearts is the role that we play with the environment and the communities that we're a part of. So one of the initiatives that we have is called Zero Waste to Landfill, and that's really a goal that none of our waste goes to the landfill. So with a lot of our byproducts, we're able to sell those waste streams off for animal feed and other things like that. And then also with some of our actual kind of paper and material waste, instead of sending it to a landfill, we have avenues where we can actually disintegrate it and get rid of it in that light. So one of the things that we're doing as a company and as a plant to help our environment and climate.
Very cool. All right. So actually, I lied. I've got one more question.
Yeah.
People who actually are working and making the cereal and that other section of it, what are they called? Like if you were to have a business card and said, hey, I'm Laura Daniels, is it like something cool like Chief of Cheerios, like I just called you? Or is there anything like that? Or is it cereal maker? What is it? What would you say?
Yeah, so some of our different roles, probably the most common titles would either be operator or technician.
Okay.
But I definitely like, chief anything,
Yeah.
chief operator, chief logistics technician.
Yeah.
We may have to relook at some of those because I do think there is a potential to bring a little more blitz and glare.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did a whole show on that, so we can revisit that another time because we came up with some really interesting things. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. We already mentioned that about 400 Western New Yorkers
Yep.
live and work here and make their living here. And there's obviously, as we saw from the wall outside, there's a lot of people who have been here forever. You have worked with General Mills since you were out of college.
Correct. Yeah, started with General Mills right out of college. 21 years later, still with the company. Great people, great brands. Love what I do.
Well, hey, if you're looking for work and if they're hiring,
We're always looking
I feel like
for great team
everybody's
members.
always looking for good team members. So, so is there anything else that you wanted to cover that maybe we haven't touched on or anything? I was going to ask if we make anything other than, cereal and flour here, but anything else you want to mention about the footprint here in Buffalo?
I just say, the pride that our people have in the community and the role that as a company we play in the community is vitally important to us. Also, just the people that make up General Mills, it's unique and it's special. A lot of our team members do have 20 plus years of experience. Our most tenured team member actually has 49 years of experience working right here in Buffalo.
Wow.
And
49 years.
49 years.
You imagine is it a male, female?
It's a female.
You imagine how many changes and how many things in the world she's seen.
Yeah.
And General Mills is still right here.
Yeah.
Doing the thing. That's awesome.
Proud of our people, and they have the Western New York grit and commitment to really make this plant shine, and that's probably why it's been here on the cereal side for 80 plus years. They've been here on the flour side for over 120.
Yeah.
Because of the people. So really proud of them.
Very cool. Well, Andy, our Chief Cheerio, thank you so much for the time today. This has been eye-opening, and I hope you're going to enjoy some of the video that we put together for you. It is a beautiful day here in Buffalo, and I feel like when it's nice and sunny, it smells even better here. So
I would agree. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it.